this is the assignment 2. So I am given two integer array. One is bigger than the other. So I'm gonna assume that the first input will be the smaller one, and then the second input array is the bigger one. Otherwise, I'm going to have add the checker whether the other one's bigger. So my implementation will be adding all the bigger ones and subtract all the integers that's in the smaller array. So the reason I went to that approach is because we are only missing one integer, and their sum is going to be different around that one specific integer. So I'm going to write public int missing integer, and array int r1 int r2. Yep. And like I said, if r2, I'm going to assume that r2 is the bigger one. Otherwise, I'm going to have some sort of checker and decide which one's the bigger array, and then I'm going to go from there. But I'm going to assume that this is the bigger one. So there were two methods to implement this, and then one of them was actually doing all the sums and then separate the sums at the end. But since that takes 2n, I thought I could reduce it by half by iterating once while doing the computation all together. So for example, however, array 2 is the bigger one, right? So I'm going to write int missing is r2 that 0 index. And my for loop is going to be off of the first array, which is the smaller one. So I is less than r1 dot length I plus plus. So what's happening here is that my loop is going to iterate by length of this guy. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to add to the mixing number by r2 I plus 1. So that's gonna add this inputs digits off by 1 into the missing array. And then I'm going to subtract missing minus r1 I. Right? So instead of having to do the separation in the end, I'm going to do it in the for loop. So once it comes out of the for loop, missing will be the value of that missing integer. So I'm just going to return missing. So that works even if the missing one's a negative or positive, because negative numbers will become if negative 1 happens to be the missing one, then obviously the second array will be smaller, so it will come out as a negative number. So that is my solution for number 2.